Hi guys, how's it going? This is part 2 of the eBay series. In this one, I'm going to be showing you what defects to look out for when purchasing clothes. That's going to be towards the end though. I just wanted to show you the process that I'm doing when I'm listing the items quickly. So basically, like now I've sorted them out into the bundles and stuff like that. I'm still checking for defects in case I've overlooked any while sorting them out and stuff like that, because some of them are like really discreet, like the world's smallest hole will be on the back and you don't see it until you go to list it. And the last thing that you want to happen is for you to not spot it and it sell and you spot it as you're going to post it. So yeah, like I always, every second that I'm listing an item or taking pictures or something like that, I'm constantly keeping an eye out for these defects just in case. So yeah, basically the process that I do is on my monitor, on my computer even, sorry, I've currently got the listing half set up. Like I've got it in its category, its titles written out, its condition and everything like that. All that's left is to take pictures of it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, obviously, I've got the jeans here. So I'm going to check around the groin, around that area. Make sure there's no wear along the seams or anything like that, because you'll often get a bit of wear along there. Just give the pockets a quick pull out. Make sure there's no holes or rips and the seam's not split or anything like that. This step here is quite important. A lot of people tend to overlook the pockets, especially while you're like in the charity shop sourcing. I'm guilty of doing it myself. I've got home, pulled out the pockets and realised that there's a hole in it. But so far, touch wood, these pockets are actually intact. So yeah, all the pockets are absolutely fine. Next step is, if it's got a name badge like that, just make sure that the dye from the leather or whatever the material is that they've used has not run into the actual jeans. You tend to get this a lot more on like blue items, more so Calvin Klein. I've not seen no Levi do it. I've not seen any YSL do it. As I said, like I've not sold YSL before. But yeah, it's normally Calvin Klein that tends to do that. So always double check that with Calvin Klein. So after we've checked the pockets and the name badge, we now have to check the zip. So just make sure it goes, fight with the zip, make sure it goes up and down. There we go. Right, okay, so the zip works. Just double check for any buttons not missing and stuff like that. Next, just hold it up into a light and have a look down the actual leg and just see whether there's any holes, like very faint stains and stuff like that. These actually look like they are in good condition. If it's got a stain, then you can get most from that. I know Caroline has got a video on her channel that shows the cleaning material that she uses, like an antioxidant thing that you can get from the Poundland. I used to use Vanish, and I've actually changed over to this Oxy thing because it's just as good and it's just as cheap. So yeah, definitely head over to her channel and have a look for that video. These are looking good though. I've just dropped them on the floor. It's got a little bit of dirt around the hems, so I'll just give that a brush off. And talking of hems, that is the last thing you want to check, is just make sure the hems, the bottom, has got no wear or anything like that. Make sure the seam's not unravelling on the inside, so just give it a quick fold over and along them bits there, basically. Just make sure the seams there ain't like unravelling and stuff like that. And yeah, they are actually good to go. So I'm going to throw them over onto the photo area. Grab the next pair, which are a pair of Levi's. These are vintage. Jesus Christ. Nice. But yeah, basically you've just got to repeat. So there you can see there's a little bit of like loose threading around the belt buckle bit, so I'll just get a pair of scissors and just snip them off to make them look a bit neater. But again, these flies are button flies, so make sure all of the buttons are there and not missing, and also that the button holes have not got splits or anything like that. And yeah, okay, on these ones you can see just there is some slight wear. So I'm now going to have to mention that in the listing, but it is very minimal. And also, oh, sorry guys, there we go. If you look there, the seam has actually started to unravel. So I'll have to declare that in the listing as well. Value on is not going to be affected too much because, yeah, that hem's the exact same. It's got very minimal wear just along there. So yeah, I'll declare that in the listing. But other than that, the rest of them look like they're in great condition. Well, the rest of the jeans even look like they're in great condition. So I will throw that over there. And again, just go on to the next one until I've got my bundle of clothes ready to take listing images of. And then I'll just basically get all of the listings ready and then take all the pictures, upload the pictures onto the eBay as a mass upload session thing. And then, yeah, just rinse and repeat basically. So that's like the process that I use while I'm preparing my listings. The next video is going to show you how I actually create my listings and stuff like that. Like, you'll actually be looking over my shoulder. I will be listing items ready to sell. So you'll see me pricing up the items and just the stuff that I put in the title, like keywords, description, and so on and so forth. So yeah, guys, make sure you double check all your items, because the Levi ones that I just found the unravelled seam on, I'd already looked at them and I completely didn't spot it. So it's definitely worth double checking and triple checking and even checking 5 times in a row, like, just to be safe. So yeah, I'm now going to show you, like, I'm going to edit in the next bit of the video that shows you a bit more in depth of stains, bleach stains, and a few bits like that. So yeah, guys, I'm going to see you in part 3. As I said, that's going to be about actually getting your listing done, keywords in your title and everything else. So yeah, I shall see you in part 3. Bye. Okay guys, so here we are. I've got some examples of like defects to look out for when buying at boot sales in charity shops. These items actually come from my mate, like, who gave me all the clothes for the latest haul. So these didn't cost me nothing. If I was to see something like this in a charity shop or a boot sale, I potentially, like, I wouldn't buy it basically. So yeah, let's get stuck straight into it. The first one are these tracksuit bottoms. Now, if I just fold them out quickly, first thing is there. You can see it ain't glue and it ain't oil, but it's really sticky and really hard at the same time. It's like, if you work in a car garage, there's this stuff called underseal, like, it's a really sticky tar substance. That's the word, tar. It feels like that. So yeah. What was the other thing that was on these as well? There, you can see that the cotton's actually started to, like, bubble up into balls and stuff like that. Now, if you pull that, it's going to create like a long line going along there like that, which will be highly noticeable. And you can try and cut it out, and sometimes you'll get away with it, but if the damage is too bad already, then it's not going to come out. So yeah, bobbles and tar. That can go down now. Okay, next is another obvious stain. Emulsion paint. Emulsion is terrible to try and get out of clothes. Not emulsion, sorry. Gloss, that's the one. Sorry guys, right, yeah, gloss. Gloss paint is, my finger's sticky, my thumb's sticky just from doing that. You can stick it in the wash and try and get it out, but I've had no luck with anything like that so far. So yeah, tar, gloss and bobbles. Next is along the collar lines. You'll see here there is a hole where the label used to be, or I presume where the label used to be. This one applies to a lot of like top items, shirts, jumpers, coats, stuff like that. If the collar's been pulled out, chances are there's going to be a hole like that there, and that can considerably affect how much you can charge for an item. And also there on the edge, camera, zoom in, that's the one. Yeah, on the edge of the not on the edge of the camera, the edge of the collar, you'll see where the seam, that seam there comes up and meets. You've got that little bobble bit of like stitching mess there basically, and you'll find that a lot of wear will appear around there as well. So yeah, labels, and I think this one, is it this one? No, not this one. Okay, right, yeah, so that can go down now. This one here is poor hygiene, best way to put it. Smelly people. So yeah, you can see that there's some slight fading around the armpit on that side and also on that side. And that is basically poor hygiene, guys. It's sweat stains. So yeah, at first I thought it was a bleach stain, because bleach kind of goes faint like that, but it'll have like a yellow tinge around the edge as well. But no, it's definitely sweat. And also a small pinprick hole just there around the shoulder. You will find a lot of damage on shirts normally tend to be around that area, like around the collar area, and then also on the end of the sleeves. You can see there as well, the threading has just started to come loose there, but again, you could probably chop that off with scissors and no one would be none the wiser. Right, this shirt here has actually got no defects wrong with it. It's got a couple of stains, but I can chuck that in the wash. But the reason I've grabbed it, on shirts, you want to be very, very wary, if I can get it to fold out, about the edges and the corners of the cuffs and collar. Generally, most shirts would be alright, but some of them will be slightly worn around the edges along there. And also on the collar corners as well will be very, like some of them can be very worn. And I used to overlook that when I first went out and got into the clothing niche, but over time you do start to pick up on it. So yeah, like it's one of them ones you've got to pay attention to it, you really have. And then obviously on this one we've got a hole under the armpit. Again, notice how it's under the armpit. As I said, it generally tends to be around the collar, which as you can see there is one there as well. The label is actually fine on this one, but if it ain't the collar, it'll normally be around the armpit or around the cuffs. And you'll also see there that this one has just started to bobble up as well in places. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much everything to look out for when buying clothes. Tar stains, see if I can get this right in one go. Tar kind of stains, oil-based stains, basically, like gloss, tar, cooking oil, and things like that. They kind of cling to the fabric, and it just gets really hard to get out. And then you've got your collars, cuffs, and your where the label tag is on the back of the neck. Yeah, just around there somewhere. And bobbling clothes, basically. I think that is everything. I can't remember. But yeah, guys, that is everything that I've basically... Okay, right, yeah, so I've stopped rambling. So yeah, guys, that's everything that you've got to look out for, basically, when you're buying clothes. Like, holes can be really tiny. One other thing that I forgot to mention, which happens a lot in charity shops. Do you know they've got the little plastic tag thing that they stick the labels on? They'll normally stick that through the collar label, but sometimes it'll go straight through. Like, they'll go to stick it on there, basically, and it'll go straight through the shirt as well. And when you pull that out, it'll leave like the world's tiniest hole. Like, seriously, it looks like someone's just got a like pin and just gone like that for it. And yeah, that one's a real kicker. Like, you don't realise until you get home, and it's yeah. Anyway, right, guys. So that's everything to look out for. Again, part 3 is going to be about listing titles and everything, as I said at the beginning, keywords, description, and everything else. And then part 4 is going to be about pictures. So yeah, that's the order that I've got it out in at the moment. So yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in part 3. Bye.